Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is RZX of HD Central, and welcome to part 22 of Tokyo Xtreme Racer. Now, I probably should explain a little something. Off screen, I had already done this part that I'm going to be showing you. The only problem was I accidentally lost the file to part 22. So I'm completely redoing this all right now. I still have the original part 23, 24, and 25. Those are still going to be there. This one, though, is completely different. It's not, because I am very stupid. Anyways, what we have to be doing is, because to get the very last thing in the game, we have to go to the quick race mode, and we got to face 100 rivals in a row, and win them all. And to do that, we're going to be using this car that we unlocked after we beat quest mode. Zero's Porsche 911. We're going to see just how good it is in this part. So here we go. And here we are. So in a quick race, you just pretty much get thrown right into the action, as someone will challenge you every time. The first guy will be a Taruno, most likely one from Rolling Guy, as it's Rolling Guy number 2. I remember that. And the reason I want to use the Porsche is, well, why not? It's the only non-Japanese car in the game. I like Porsches, and when you get to Rival 100, you'll pretty much see why. But yeah, pretty much the purpose that this serves is you just keep doing these races, you face them, and you just win. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like, you don't need to really be a genius to figure it out. But anyways, next up for rival number 2, we got a red Civic. Probably curving edge, most likely. Now, some of these rivals, as they come later on, I tend to forget who they are and where they came from because my memory is not the best. I really don't know for some of them, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, so I'm a little relaxed. You may hear in the next few parts that I'm a little more energetic. Right now, I'm just, calm with myself because, well, why not? And of course, for this part, I'm going to try to get some thumbnails because the chances for thumbnails before had been lost because I am dumb. Because I deleted part 22, the original one, and it's no more. So this is the new one. Anyways, next up for the third race, we got a black Altezza. I'm not gonna try to guess what every crew is from each thing, yeah. And I'm running into some walls already. That's a good way to start off. But yeah, as you can see, the Porsche is very fast and very responsive in handling. And in top end, it's just slower than the R34, but this thing only has 5 gears compared to the Skyline 6, and it can reach that speed very quickly. Anyways, so alright, so fourth rival, we got a black Cedric. So let's tear him down and let's whoop him out and narcotic syndrome. That pause pretty much is me just questioning why I said that. But I'm sure you knew that already. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, and yeah, you do see I did the color of the Porsche is blue. You can change it, of course. Unlike the Red Devil. I think the Red Devil is the only Devil car that you can purchase that you can't paint. I know you can, obviously, with Midnight Cinderella, and you can do the same with Exhaust Eve, but this car here, you can't do that. Anyway, so next up we have a bright Integra, like a steel blue Integra. Woo! And pretty much he's not even going to stand much of a chance. But you already knew that. I should also mention the SP-wise, it works a little differently in Quick Race. You're not noticing it now because I've never been passed, obviously, but of course, as you know, when you get past, your SP bar goes down. You're already used to that if you've been watching this LP. Thing is, though, if in Quick Race, if you get past and your SP goes down, by the time that you do the next race, you don't get that SP back. You gotta work with the SP that you have remaining on you. So it adds like a little bit more challenge to it, because instead of starting the next guy with maximum SP like you would have in quest mode, you've only got the amount of SP you have left by the end of the previous race to work with. So if you're someone who's at a pretty low level of SP, you better make sure you pull on one dramatic show, especially if you got a lower end car, which I don't, because again, it's a Porsche. And I'm mostly just going to be trying to blaze through these because, well, why not? Alright, so next up we've got a Gloria. A Gloria. A Gloria. I know technically none of these cars are actually licensed, but we all know what they are supposed to be, so we call them what they are. Seems pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I really have to go into that. Oh, that was an overshoot. And of course, especially because, well, yeah, that car, that van, annoying van that was there. Yeah, what can you do? I can try to do another thumbnail, I guess. And on to the next one. We've got another Chrono. I think this is rolling eye number 3 or something. Does look like it. When it comes to those Chronos 11s, you're gonna see just how long they carry on throughout the 100 rivals. You'd be surprised when the last one appears, because they're only in this mode. There only is 100 rivals. You only face 100 different people. If you decide to go for 101, it'll just repeat the cycle all over again. So really, once you get to 100, there's not really much point in continuing unless you're just someone who really wants to see how high of a score you can get, since it documents how far you get. So that may be the only reason, but otherwise, not worth it. Anyways, so that was number 8 down, and now for number 9, we've got a blue Civic. We had a red Civic, now we have a blue Civic. Red versus blue. Take your pick. Remember that old thing from way back when? I think are they still doing that technically, or I mean, I'm not talking about how it works with like Team Fortress 2 or nothing, but yeah, whatever. I don't think it really matters too much right now. So yeah, as you can see, this thing is capable of doing about 180. But unlike the Skyline, which could get up to, like, I think 188 was the most I did in it, this thing won't really go too much faster than that. Which is surprising because it is a Porsche, but, you know, considering it can get to that speed and gets there pretty quick and be pretty consistent at it, it's no big deal. Anyways, next up, we've got what appears to be, yes it is, an Integra in yellow. A very nice looking Integra in yellow. Unfortunately for him, he's just gonna lose. But again, you all expected that. But yeah, as you'll notice pretty much with the first one, all these rivals very on are pretty easy. They get more difficult later on, but as you'll see, well, for the first bit, they don't really serve much of a challenge. And just like that, we move on to number 11, where we got another Gloria in red this time. So, yeah, okay. Bonk. Still using a bit of Wolf Trick because why not? It's because I can. And as you can see, pretty much almost all of these races have pretty much only been about 30 seconds, or even in some cases, just under 30 seconds. Because really, there's no reason to have to be any slower when it comes to these guys. Here's the first interesting bunch of them. Now we are facing against a Supra. You know, a car that we had at one point. Apologize for that. I knocked my microphone off because, unlike most other people with their headsets, I have to attach mine via a magnetic because this is attached to a pair of headphones that didn't come with any mic. It's a bit of a complicated. Well, it's not complicated. It's a bit of a pain to deal with because it is easy to knock off in certain cases, but otherwise, it's well worth it for the quality you get. And I'm just completely tanking this one. As you noticed, the guy did pass me, which will make an interesting situation come next part. For the while, I wanted to kind of keep myself at 100% SP as much as I possibly could. As you see now, I'm down to 92%, and I wanted to just keep it going. So if I was falling back, I would just restart the race. But because this time I'm only doing the first 25 because I got to restart because I already did the other 3 and I didn't lose those parts. I'm not gonna worry about that. So when it gets to part 23, you're gonna see my SP go back up to 100%. But as you see, I just started this race and I'm still at 92%. As I mentioned, it doesn't come back. And in fact, the case of the SP, it becomes really interesting during the final big part. That one was quite something. But yeah, you'll see how that turned out when, you know, I get part 25 out onto the internet, on the YouTubes and the GameAnyones.com. Because, yeah, oh yeah. And next up we got a green Corolla 11. I think that's rolling guy number 4. Unfortunately for him, he's just not even going to stand much of a chance whatsoever. But that was to be expected now, wasn't it? Yeah. No competition. None whatsoever. And a bit of a slide because I braked it a little too hard. And bam, done. Moving on. Let's keep the ball rolling, keep the winning ways going. With a yellow RX-7 now. This is another very interesting car. Again, because it's an RX-7, and RX-7s are great cars. I don't care what people think about the rotary engine. I love the rotary engine, even though they're probably not the most reliable. That van had to get in the way because the vans always hate me. The vans always hate me. Thankfully, because of this time, this is the last time I'm gonna have to deal with them. Not necessarily in parts 23 to 25, but because I already did those, well, yeah, you see where this is going. And that's a win for us for number 15. So we got 16 to 25 left to go. I split it up to 4 parts because it just makes it pretty equal, and you'll see with the time length with these videos that it actually is pretty decent for 25 rivals. Or, well, at least with the last one, that one does get a bit lengthy, but you'll see why. But hey, because the last one is going to be lengthy, it's going to be like the biggins to send the game off of. So that's something to look forward to. At least I would say so. And down. So let's just quickly jump over to number 17 in a purple Cedric. That's very, very purple, man. They gotta stop being such a purple. Become a blue. Like me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Now when it comes to non-Japanese cars in the later TXR games, they do add a few more. It's a slow process, and it's still mostly always been dominated by the Japanese cars for understandable reasons, but thankfully for people who want to see more than just the same Japanese cars, often they do at least tend to cater to that. Unfortunately, as I found out when it came to the Drift games, Drift 1, and even for the people in Europe, they got technically they got Kaido they had something called Kaido Racer, which was Kaido Battle, which was what the series was actually called. And the Japanese version got more cars than we did, some of which were extremely interesting cars that we never got, and unfortunately we'd never be able to drive unless we actually got one of those copies of the game. So, really wish I didn't do that, because that kind of felt a bit cheap, but whatever. I'm not the guy who made the game, so I can't do a damn thing about it. It is how it is. And yeah, that wasn't even close. But anyways, we come to the next rival, who's got a Gloria in blue, dark blue. Almost kind of like my blue, but different kind of shade. Anyways, we will just be carrying off, and we won't be seeing the guy again. But then again, as I've been mentioning so many times now, you've come to expect that, haven't you? I really gotta stop saying that at this point, because I don't know. It sounds pretty dumb, very, very dumb. Anyways, done, and on to the next guy, who is, I think, nope, it's a black Cedric. So it's another big sedan. Another big sedan. And zoom out. And go, go, go. And just travel fast. Even if I have to hit walls in the process. And that was a little overdone. Oh, shit. And that's 20 down, so now we go on to the last 5. Here we got 21 with what's going to be the most interesting car in this part, an NSX. Oh, I love those NSXs. Too bad they were so much money in real life when they were new. Probably why they never really sold as good, because they were just very highly priced. And in any case, though, we're gonna continue on our way to win, win, and more win. And of course I used that wall trick there because that was a very, very useful one. And yeah, well, not even close. 30 seconds even for an NSX. So that was 21, and now we're going to 22, where we've got another Corolla 11. Yeah, you notice the downgrade. We go from an NSX to a Corolla 11. It was a little backwards with how they decided to work with this for this one, but whatever. I can't... oh, fuck. I can't do much about it. And, yep, that was a hit. Down it goes. Alright, so we've got a 3 more. Yeah, we've got a 3 more. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So now, for number 23, we've got a 180SX. In black. Or very, very dark gray, as some may call it, due to the shade, but whatever. You get the idea and know how it every day works in your every... ugh, fuck it. And zone around there, and around there. Ow. Yeah, even despite all that wall hitting, that was a pretty quick one at 29.2 seconds. Didn't stand much of a chance, pretty much like everybody else, except for the super, but that was because I was done goofing quite a bit of it. So 24, we've got another Gloria. This time it's a bright white one. Yeah, you're gonna hear me lose my mind in the next few parts about it, because again, those were recorded at the same time. So yeah. And going about at the bit of the downhill section. Oh, I was hoping I'd actually just swipe off the van. Nope, I hit the back of it like a dummy. But that was still very quick at 28.6 seconds. Very short. Very short indeed. That's pretty much been this entire part so far. And lastly, number 25, to conclude it for part 22, we finish off with an MR2. Very nice indeed. Also, hang on a minute. I got that taken care of. Just, they come at random, and sometimes oh my god. That was a bit of a kerfluffle. I chose the worst path of it too. I was stuck behind 2 cars. Not just 1, 2 cars. Yep, why not do it this sloppy way? Sorry. Anyway, so yep, there we go. That is 25 cars down, and that is me having just completed part 22 over again, because again, I make stupid mistakes. Making stupid mistakes is fun, except if you're me, because then it's not very fun when you make those stupid mistakes. But yeah, that's going to cover it for part 22, and already for me, that was going to cover me playing the game again, but you still got, for you guys, you still got 3 more parts to go. That's going to still have all the original video and all the original commentary from those attempts, so don't worry. And for the meantime, stay tuned, guys, and thanks for watching on the YouTubes and or GameAnyone.com.